Okay. The only reason I'm able to take this next step in my life, which is this place, and why we even have this thing that's poorly covered behind me, is because of that car.
Before we get into any of that, I think I need to give you some context, especially if you're new here. Over 4 years ago, I made a risky decision for a kid my age. I put all the chips I had on the table, and I bought myself my first new car, the first of the new BRZs.
You know what's crazy to me? We're like one of the few people with one of these on the road right now.
It is pretty crazy to be like sitting in it as a delivered car.
Since then, this car has come with me across the country.
Welcome to Arizona.
As I took another large risk to go off on my own and pursue making content full time. And in that time, I've slowly been transforming this car into the perfect version of what I believe to be my dream BRZ, while also learning how to do that on the spot along the way. This car has been with me for longer than any other car I've owned so far, through bad times, good times, and through major milestones of mine. And in the end of the video, you'll get to see this car help me take one more big risk that unfortunately ended up being its last.
Stick around until the end of the video. I did buy another car, and I want really badly right now to just rip the sheets off and show you what it is at the very end.
And enough of me yapping, it's time for us to install probably one of the most important driver's mods that you can do to any car. And that would be a short throw shifter.
Okay, so like stock shifter wise, like I said before, it's a great shifter. I mean, feel that thing. It's like, it's pretty notchy. Like, it's pretty notchy.
Which actually brings us to the first challenge of the day, which is getting this car up in the air so that I can get the shifter out.
You're literally on the ground. Your dude is slammed.
If you ever want to make it easier on yourself working on your car, don't lower it so that it's a couple inches off the ground. But we all know it's worth it to make it look better.
I hate doing this because like you can bend the little crush rail or whatever it's called. But we're gonna do it this time anyway. And before I do it, I'm gonna make sure I feel. Yeah, okay.
You feel it?
Yep, it's on.
All right.
After I managed to squeeze myself under the car and undo all the retaining clips from the bottom end, we were able to finally get the old shifter out of the car.
There we go. This is the billet work shifter. This is the stock shifter. All of this is plastic on the reverse lockout. It's kind of cheap, but then you have all of this from Billet Works, which is billet aluminum, which is really nice. It's super heavy. I paid extra for like that premium install kit, and what I didn't know, if you were to not buy that, you would have had to take this whole thing apart and take parts from the OEM shifter. Buying that kit, I would highly recommend you do, so that it comes with this piece, comes with the extra plastic bushing thing. It comes with bushings inside of here. You don't have to take this apart. All you do is you just take the rubber boot from this and put it onto here, and then the big rubber boot straight onto here, and you can lower this one straight into the car, which is clutch.
It's probably worth explaining what a short shifter actually is, because it doesn't mean that the shifter itself is shorter. What it actually changes is the throw distance, which is the distance your hand has to travel between gears. But a short shifter changes the leverage inside of the shifter assembly so that each gear engages with less movement of the shifter lever, which in simple terms just means that your hand travels less distance between gears, which means faster, more precise shifts.
And this thing does reduce the throws by 30%, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be noticeable. And if you've driven a BRZ before, you know that they already have really good stock shifters. I'm just going to throw this back in the car, and hopefully we can go out and drive it soon, because I'm super eager to do it.
So I guess the goal here isn't really performance in terms of horsepower or speed. It's actually just driver engagement. The shorter throws make the gearbox feel tighter and more mechanical, which just makes the car more fun to drive in general, which, if you know anything about the BRZ, that's kind of the party piece of this car. It's not fast, but it's a hell of a lot of fun to drive.
We robbed the boot from the old shifter right here. It just covers it. I thought maybe it was supposed to go inside of this, but it doesn't. It just sits over it. This piece that sticks out right here, this black piece, that's what's going to contact your reverse lockout, and what you would do to move it out of the way to put it in reverse. So make sure when you're putting it back in the car that it's facing the steering wheel, and that the boot is also facing like this. We're gonna back into the car. I'm just gonna leave these kind of snug. Not gonna fully bolt it in yet. Just gonna do a little bit of hand tight.
Just so that way you can like adjust on the fly until you're entirely ready to tighten it.
Yeah, basically. We're like one hard part away from being pretty much done and getting to put the car back together, which is exciting. So
I've never seen a person so happy to have something shorter.
I mean, isn't there a way, like, maybe you gotta fit into like small places or whatever? Like, be like height-wise shorter, but like F1 drivers, dude, you can't be tall and be an F1 driver.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no. They're all like, well, not all, but like most
They're
of them are.
jockeys.
Yeah, basically. They're motor jockey.
Yeah, they're motor jockeys.
Freaking motor jockey. That sounds like a slang term.
Oh, freaking motor jockeys, bud.
This is what I was struggling with the last time when I was under the car. So this is the like tensioner clip. You just need to pull it open and slip it on top of like the bolt or the shifter linkage that's in there. So that's what I'm about to be doing for the next hour probably.
And so that means back underneath the tight space inside the car to reconnect all the shifter linkages and put back all the rubber boots. I was trying to be really careful because there are some rubber pieces in here that are easily damaged, and if I damage it, I'm gonna have to replace it, which of course, way easier said than done.
I ripped the rubber boot so bad. So I'm gonna leave it on, covering the shifter linkage, because I don't want like, I'll at least have some protection there, but like it's so bad.
Oh, do you want me to spin this?
Huh?
Yeah. I think you might actually.
just go ahead and lower the car.
Once that was all buttoned up, that's it. Shifter installed.
First
This is a
reactions?
big moment. Hold on. Oh, that's, wow, the reverse.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, this is gonna feel so good.
Oh, no way.
That's literally first gear, dude. Dude, that
I'm
is
so
clicky.
jealous.
What I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting the reverse lockout. So basically, this is loose and adjustable, and this bar right here helps stop you from going into reverse. So we're gonna find first gear just by going over slightly. That should be first gear. But now that I have it in first gear, I'm just gonna push this reverse lockout bushing thing. I'm really hoping this takes out the slop in the shifter. Oh yeah, I think it does help a little bit.
Oh, it looks.
Because before it had a lot of play. If you're new to the channel, I bought this car like brand new. I ordered it. So when it came in from the factory, the shifter was like rock solid, didn't move. And over time, it just kind of gets more sloppy. So I'm really hoping that tightening these and like getting that, you know, solid shifter. I am a little bit dirty.
Dirty.
Little dirty.
Dirty.
But yeah, I'm hoping this shifter gets rid of some of that slop because I'm not a fan of that.
Sick.
First, second, third. Oh my god,
Gosh.
dude, this is so good. All right, let me just make
Yeah,
sure.
you're just gonna give me your car for the night so I can take it to Tortilla Flats and
Never.
actually put your brand new
Never.
tires
No, because my car's too low, bro. You just scrape on everything and then rip my fender liner out.
It's spinny.
Dude, it's so good. Freaking Billet Works, man. Ever since I drove Jesse's car, I was like, I freaking need one of these. Oh, yeah. Yep.
How much are these on the website?
I think with the kit, it's $275.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not terrible, but they're more expensive than some things on the market, but they're pretty mid-range because you can get like not a CAE shifter for these cars, but you can get like one that's got the like big billet arm and it comes up to like right here, which is cool, and I kind of wanted one at first, but I think I want to just do OEM Plus, which is why I think Billet Works is the way to go.
Because it's more chill driving. Like, that is for, like,
Yeah,
aggressiveness.
it's like track.
Yeah.
And this is not a track car. I know a lot of people track these cars. It's just not my thing.
Are
especially
they
not with this
reliable
car.
on the track? Like, bone stock.
Bone
'Cause I've
stock,
seen some stuff.
Maybe. I wouldn't.
Don't you just... The RTV... You just have to redo... Was it the gasket seals?
Yeah, you just have to do the RTV seal yourself. Well, so like, thing is though, is you void your warranty if you drop the oil pan yourself.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. If you take it to Subaru and be like, I want you to check the RTV, they can do it for you. But I was told by a Subaru rep here that if you drop your oil pan and they were to find out that you dropped your oil pan,
They void your
and there was
warranty.
anything wrong with like your motor, or like say you blew a motor and you needed to have it replaced one warranty or whatever, they would just they wouldn't do it. I'm glad he told me that. Yeah, let's freaking put this thing back together.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, this is gonna be sick.
After installing the short shifter and driving the car a little bit, the difference is actually pretty noticeable. The biggest thing you feel right away is the shifter throws between gears. Your hand just doesn't have to travel as far when shifting, and it's so much more mechanical. With the factory shifter, the movements became just a little sloppy over time. As this car has 25,000 miles on it, I've been doing a lot of shifting in it since I've had it, and I haven't always been the most gentle on it either. But with this one, the shifts feel tighter and more direct, which is exactly what this is supposed to do. And since shifting gears is something you do every time you drive the car, it actually is one of the mods that you notice the most, as it's something you can immediately feel after you install it. But that leaves us with the next and final modification before we figure out what ended up happening to the BRZ, which to this day is my favorite modification I've ever done to any car, and that is getting in my dream wheels all the way from Japan.
Quick reveal for the wheels. There's nobody here to help me film, so it's just gotta be me. I'm not gonna lie, I already had a little peek at them because I was a little anxious, but you could tell what they are? These are the Workmeister S1 3-piece. And this is the shocker right here, is because I got them in almost the exact same specs as my current wheel. Pretty classic design. If you know anything about work wheels, these are like the pinnacle of work wheels. And if anyone's looking for specs, these are an 18 by 9.5 plus 37. I've already spent time adjusting the suspension on my car over the weekend to make sure that these fit right when we mount the tires. These are the most beautiful freaking wheel I have ever seen. We're actually gonna go do something right now that if you ever buy new wheels, you must do, and that is go get them ceramic coated. You should not be putting brand new wheels on your car without protecting them. All 4 wheels with the boxes in the car.
Now, these are my absolute dream wheels. I've even wanted these wheels since I bought the car. Owning the reps before has showed me how difficult they are to clean, just given how the wheels are built and all the hardware. So not only will ceramic coating them keep them in their best condition, but it's also going to help me keep them clean.
These are the OEM stickers that come with the works. I really wanted to save them, and apparently these don't stick very well, so we're gonna put these on first before we coat them. But this is Matt, the detail pro. But what are we doing to these wheels today, Matt?
We will prep them. I'll do a little inspection, make sure there's no little scuffs or anything that we need to polish out in the powder coat. And then we will be applying some ceramic coating.
Matt told me you could do this by yourself if you really wanted to, but I don't trust. I mean, how hard is it?
It's not hard. Being that this is a multi-piece wheel, getting in with all of the bolts, it's going to be a little difficult, just tedious, especially with the finish and how everything looks. It's nothing to be scared of.
So off we go to start applying the ceramic coating. Before that, we do have to put the stickers on, because if I were to put the stickers on after the coating, they wouldn't stick at all. And as Matt said, it's not so much as difficult as it is time consuming, as these wheels are multi-piece, so there's a lot of little cracks and crevices that you have to actually make sure that the ceramic is applied to. So after we finished all 4 wheels and gave them 24 hours secure, they were finally ready to be put on the car, which means taking them to my buddy Alex at Wheel Sauce.
You have a lot of wheels in your
Yeah.
collection. How many wheels do you think you have at home? Like 30, 40, 50 sets?
Right now, it's just a hair over 80 sets.
Oh my god, I wasn't even close.
That's not just like 80 wheels, that's 80 sets of wheels.
Yeah.
So 80 times 4.
I love wheels, and I don't discriminate when it comes to anything that's like interesting or multi-piece.
Yeah, so to get the wheels mounted, I had to take it to none other than Alex, the Wheel Jesus. Which, that's literally his Instagram, is the Wheel Jesus.
Yeah. And
Now
that
you
was
probably understand why I wanted Alex doing this job. I know that he'll take care of my wheels because he treats every set of wheels that he gets in his shop like they're his own.
We're trying to see how fitment is, and that could be the issue today, honestly.
As I said before, the specs of these wheels are an 18 by 9.5 plus 37. The old wheels are relatively close, but they were a half an inch narrower than these new wheels, which means that's going to put the lip of the new wheel closer to the fender of the car.
So we really just want to make sure before we put anything on the car that it fits and I can actually leave here without, well, I got stuck coming in, but I can actually leave here without too much trouble.
Now, the offset is relatively similar, but at the same time, the offset is also slightly more aggressive than the old wheels. So when you add it all together, we're actually working with a lot less room between the lip of the wheel and the outside fender and the inner lip of the wheel and the inside fender. So I'm honestly pretty nervous to see if these wheels are even going to fit correctly. Even though these specs aren't that aggressive, we're still cutting it about as close as we possibly can with this car.
damn, look at that. Yeah, good choice.
Thank you.
Choice.
Okay, so Alex got 2 of the wheels onto the car. The way we're looking at it, it definitely looks slightly fatter. And I mean, looking at the old one, because the old wheels are still on this side, I know it cambers a lot, but still, it's gonna be a stretch.
Good to do like a little test before committing 100%.
Oh boy.
The fitment was even closer than we thought it was going to be.
Oh boy. Oh no.
So I thought it would be best to perform a highly scientific test to see if they're going to rub without driving the car.
Good.
But it's actually not. Like,
tucks
it's
up
actually
inside,
not.
right?
Yeah, it's damn, son.
Now, even though it did technically pass my highly scientific fitment test, we have no idea if it's going to rub until we actually get the car on the road.
But it did that thing where it tucks up and in like that, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was going in a little bit, like it wasn't actually touching the tire, but I mean, The real test is gonna be the
Road,
road
yeah.
test.
We're not like fully out of the woods yet, but I can see the light. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
So we did exactly that. Put the car on the road and do a little bit of street testing. And what do you know? Didn't rub a single bit. I don't think we could have gotten this any closer than we possibly did fitment-wise. I truly believe that this offset and wheel setup is the perfect fitment for these cars if you're going to go with a little bit more of an aggressive stance. And as I already expected, Alex knocked it out of the park. He was able to mount all my tires without scratching the wheels, and they look flawless and fit perfect.
Okay, well, I guess that means we can do the rest of them, right?
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome.
So let's get a final look at the way the wheels look, and then get into the unfortunate part, the fate of the BRZ, and what happened.
It's currently 6:22 in the morning on a Saturday. I'm about to share one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. I've been coming to this Cars and Coffee meet since I moved here. The vibe is always perfect. The area is beautiful. It's quiet. It's a really mature Cars and Coffee. I'm not even joking. Like, some of the best cars in the area turn up every Saturday morning, and today's JDM day. So it can't be more appropriate the way that this worked out. So we're gonna go meet almost all of my friends there, and it's gonna be a great morning.
So, what did happen to the BRZ? The best way I can sum it up is life. My channel is 6 years old now, and I've only had 2 cars on the channel. If you're a regular watcher, you know I took a long break. I'd never before built a car for me and just enjoyed it. So I drove it, I took it to meets, I went out with friends, and I fully enjoyed the car that I built out in my head. It was exactly how I wanted it to be. And if you know anything about making videos about modifying cars, once a car's done, you really can't go any farther with it. And I really want to grow and learn new platforms and try new things. So in the moment, the decision seemed pretty clear. I had to sell it if I wanted to move forward. And the tough part of this is it's actually already gone. Now, enough of the sentimental stuff. Let's talk about some exciting stuff. The BRZ did help me do one more thing, and that thing is what you're looking at right now. That right there is my own shop. And in that shop is the next project and all the tools that we're gonna need to work on it.
It's honestly, this is the biggest risk I've ever taken in terms of buying a car. And without spoiling anything, it is the most work I've ever done to a car, ever. And I want really badly right now to just rip the sheets off of this car and show you what it is, but I can't do that until the next video, and that's gonna mark the end of this one. So I will hopefully see you when we reveal that mess of a project. It is a big one, so I'll see you in the next video. Why are you still here? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I promised you a hint. All right, here's your hint. This is the only thing you're getting. All right, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.